Hello, good morning, everyone. All right. Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Microsoft Business Application Summit 2021 Philippine Edition. And I am Doher Drizzle Pablo, or you can call me Drizzle. I'll be your host for today's summit. Okay, before we get started, I'll go over with a few housekeeping items for today's online summit. First is don't forget to visit our event portal. So that's www.mbasph21.powerappsportals.com. Second is don't disconnect when you join our team's live event. And since I'm thinking of the other attendees will have technical difficulties or it's their first time to join on a Microsoft Teams event, I just went live on Facebook using DMD Chic Mode Facebook page. So please go ahead and share our Facebook Live to reach more attendees, especially the 100 plus pre-registered attendees. You can just share it to them, our Facebook Live. Third is, of course, don't forget to add our official hashtags on your social media posts. So that's hashtag MBASPH21, hashtag MSBizApps, hashtag Power Platform, and hashtag Dynamics365. Okay? All right. So to formally begin, I'll just play again the few housekeeping videos and then we will go to our program proper. Okay. All right. So we had some concerns on our Facebook Live, but please just share the link on our social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, and if you have friends who pre-registered, just send them the link. Okay? All right. So that's okay. We're just on our first part of our summit. That's okay. All right. So now let's proceed. Let's pause for a few moments of silence. Let us start this summit by calling upon the name of the Lord to seek for his guidance in this event. So I'll be playing our video for our invocation and followed by our Philippine national anthem. Okay.
If there's one more gift I'd ask of you, Lord, it would be peace here on earth. As gentle as your children's laughter all around. There is
Confusions around my reflections on what's
all around.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
All right. Well, welcome once again to our Microsoft Business Application 2021 Philippine Edition. Okay, to formally begin the summit, I would like to invite one of our community leader, but currently right now he is experiencing some technical difficulties. So on behalf of Paul Suleiman, I'll just go ahead and welcome everyone to our first Microsoft Business Application Summit 2021 Philippine Edition. We've invited our Microsoft partners, Microsoft customers, students, and anyone who wants to learn anything or everything about Microsoft Business Applications. This is a safe event for everyone, and please feel free to share to your friends who you knew who pre-registered. And I know I tried to went on Facebook Live, but I had some technical difficulties, so I need to end that Facebook Live and just continue using Microsoft Teams live event. Okay, so in the event, we still have few attendees. I will just broadcast this later on YouTube and Facebook. The recording, I'll just share it later. But of course, there's an advantage for the attendees that we have right now. Okay? All right. So again, remember, our main theme for this event is to continue engage, empower, inspire every Filipino. Okay, so just have fun. And I would like to thank our official partners in cooperation with Microsoft, DMD Chic Mode, also brought to you by Softline Philippines and Softline International, Hacktive Collab, and special thanks to iTrain Asia for making this summit possible. All right, moving forward, it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming James Phillips and Alyssa Taylor from Microsoft. We have a pre-recorded session from our last Microsoft Business Application Summit. So just sit back and relax, and I'm sure you will learn a lot from this keynote from James and Alyssa. And feel free to share your key takeaways later by utilizing our Q&A portion on Microsoft Teams live event. So that Q&A, it has an icon that has a question mark. So feel free to just click on it and then just ask a question, type your question, and then wait for it to be published. Okay, so we will make this event more engaging as possible. We want to hear from you every session. Okay, and then you can also visit our event portal. All right, so now let me go ahead and play our
Hello. The presentation you're about to watch was recorded before the crisis in India escalated dramatically. And I'd like to acknowledge that although we do have a sense of renewed optimism, there is for many a great uncertainty of when things will return to normal. We recognize that, and we of course are here to support you. But we do hope the stories and innovation we'll share today will help all of us continue to adapt to this reality and push the boundaries of what's possible together.
help our clients turn their own data into more valuable insights.
In recent years, we've become much more of a data-driven company for our decisions.
This will form a very important part of the next generation of education of surgeons.
Having the tools and resources and technology to do your job more efficiently and effectively definitely makes employees happy.
Rockwell's swift digital transformation has enabled us to empower our customers.
Hello, and welcome to the 4th annual Microsoft Business Applications Summit. We've been on quite the journey together since our first ever fully virtual event 1 year ago, and today that journey continues. As we saw in the video, organizations across every industry have stretched the boundaries of what's possible in ways we wouldn't have believed just a year ago. And now, as the world begins to emerge from the COVID-19 pandemic, and the Northern Hemisphere welcomes the return of warmer weather and spring flowers, there's a new sense of optimism. So for our time today, we'll celebrate that optimism and continue to chart our path forward. Starting with a look back over the past year. The number one thing we've learned is that a business with a strong digital foundation can push the boundaries of what's possible and achieve their full potential. And without it, it's next to impossible to adapt to rapid change. Let's look at a couple examples. When the world went into lockdown a year ago, we quickly sought out ways to stay connected. We joined virtual happy hours and coffee chats, live streams, and remote watch parties. We worked from home, we learned from home, we connected with friends and family, all from home. Over the past year, I think we've all learned that while these interactions do their best to help us stay connected, there are times when you just have to be in the room. And that is especially true for a global beauty giant like L'Oreal. You see, L'Oreal makes a wide range of products that require very sophisticated machinery for production and packaging. And every complicated machine needs service sometimes. Maybe a part broke, an upgrade needs to be installed, or it's just time for a performance checkup. And when this happens, you really need to be in the room. It's not easy to explain a complex repair over the phone, and it's expensive and time-consuming to have experts travel to the site, to say nothing of the travel restrictions brought on by COVID. So to solve this challenge, L'Oreal found a way to bring experts into the room without bringing them physically on site. With Microsoft Dynamics 365 Remote Assist and HoloLens 2, employees in one location can see what employees in another location are looking at in real time. They can react to the same image, use mixed reality annotations, and share critical information even if they're thousands of miles apart. Now, the time L'Oreal spends on diagnosing and resolving issues has been cut in half, reducing operational and travel costs and providing immediate return on their investment. And as L'Oreal looks to the future, the solution will build on their long-term commitment to environmental sustainability. And they'll be able to make sure they have the right people in the room without the environmental impact of global travel. Sticking with the optimism theme, for many parents, optimism is all about getting their kids back in school, mine included. We all know that last year has been especially challenging as we've navigated school closures, distance learning, and trying to provide meals and snacks for a very full household. School districts have been dealing with the same challenges, and many are strengthening their digital foundation as they chart their path forward. The Los Angeles Unified School District is a great example of the largest school district in the United States, serving more than 650,000 students and employing 75,000 people at more than 1,400 schools. And as soon as they closed their schools, they knew that they would need a strong path to reopen safely. So they worked with a consortium of partners, including Microsoft, to help design and implement a strategy, including a daily pass application and other solutions. The result, the return to school solution, built on the Microsoft Power Platform, will help them safely reopen schools across Los Angeles. And in addition, the school district sees the potential to continue to evolve the delivery of health and learning services in the districts moving forward. Lastly, let's look at one more example, Patagonia. Even before the pandemic, Patagonia was on a journey to deliver meaningful customer experiences. But as you'll hear in this video with Microsoft, that journey took on a whole new urgency last year. Let's take a look.
Working at Patagonia is so much more than just a job. The products that we make, we have some very technical products, and we have sportswear products, and we have base layers and outerwear, and people who appreciate our brand understand our mission. We are focused on whatever we can do to save our home planet.
I've never worked for a place where I felt like it was for a higher purpose. Our customers' experience with any interaction with Patagonia is very important to us. It is a big part of our brand, both from a knowledge of the product standpoint, from a customer service, we'll take care of you standpoint. And so to really make all that happen, obviously you need technology tools to allow you to do that.
We have had a very long-standing, strong partnership with Microsoft, and we're always pushing on Microsoft within retail to be new and innovative and different. And when we were looking at needing to upgrade, moving to D365 made sense for a lot of reasons.
The most critical part of my job is to make sure that the system is operating as efficiently as possible. And that is an ever-evolving day-to-day change. There are some objectives and initiatives that we know about and can plan for, but there are many things, especially in the last year or two, that have caused us to have to pivot very quickly. We had moved on to D365 almost 2 years ago, and then about a year into it, we were ready to move our direct-to-consumer businesses and selling channels into D365 as well. Literally on the cusp of go live is when things went crazy last year in March, and actually completely shut down our business, shut down our warehouse, shut down all call centers, shut down all of our retail stores practically overnight.
Everything was closed. We closed all of our offices. Everybody went to working remote. We learned how to use Teams overnight. So we did our entire D365 go live for our direct business remotely, and that was not planned.
Normally you have an army of consultants and IT folks go on site to make all this happen. We came up with a plan to execute remotely, and thanks to Microsoft Teams, we actually pulled that off.
And using distributed order management, even though the stores were not open to customers, we were able to turn our stores into mini warehouses to keep our retail employees working. So we were doing buy online and ship from store, and then eventually we started adding curbside pickup, and all of this was enabled by D365.
We absolutely want the customer experience to be as efficient as possible and as comforting as possible and safe and secure as possible. So you want to be able to tie the customer journey together as they go back and forth between your channels, but in a non-obtrusive way. And using Microsoft tools, D365, is part of what's allowing us to do that. But it's a journey. It's a journey.
Patagonia, it's a very special place, but for now, we're making it work remotely. And it almost feels like we're working better and more collaboratively together across our campuses through Teams and with D365.
Patagonia's story and so many others show us the importance of agility in the face of rapid change and how organizations can rise above to realize their full potential. And as they continue to chart a path forward, they will build on their digital foundation with new capabilities that meet the needs of tomorrow. But at the end of the day, organizations don't rise to challenges, people do. People are the catalysts that bring the creativity and determination that move organizations forward. And who better to help us celebrate community than James Phillips? Hi, James.
Hey, how are you, Alyssa? It's good to be here in person.
It's so good to see you. Welcome to MBAS. It is the highlight of my year every year.
And mine too. I think, the first time we did this was in 2016, and it was just the Data Insight Summit at that point. It's crazy how much it's grown over the last several years.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. And I love seeing the whole community come together. I always walk away with new insights and inspiration and a renewed appreciation for this incredible community. And I know I can speak on behalf of the entire Microsoft team when I say a huge, huge thank you.
And thank you for me as well. You know, I think as I look at this photo with some members of the community, I recognize some faces. Tim Smith, we've got Alan Shy, we've got Sarah Critchley. But the problem is we've got so many people now, I could not possibly know everyone in the community. Over 2 million active community members, hundreds of user groups. We really have gotten to a place now where it's a movement. And I've always said that the success of the Power Platform, the success of Dynamics 365 really has everything to do with community. And we're deeply grateful for your partnership, your involvement, your engagement, and really your support of each other. It's the power of community that has made this platform what it is today. Let's hear a few words from the community itself.
My name is Daniel Christian.
This is Geeta.
This is Prashant.
My name is Samuel Rai.
Matt Beard. Connor Doyle.
My name is Amakusi.
The people in this community are amazing, always willing to help.
The community gives everyone a space to feel empowered, to connect, share, and learn more from each other.
And as time goes on, it truly does become more incredible, and it never ceases to amaze me. Now, thanks to 2020, I've got friends all over the world, and I know they will go above and beyond to help out me and other fellow members of that community.
Whether you're a low coder, a pro coder, a startup, or an enterprise, the people in this community that will help you get there.
I would not have thought that I would meet and make friends in almost every part of the world.
And there's one thing that really brings us all together is problem solving.
It has helped me be a better person. It's helped me be a better listener.
From a professional perspective, I've learned so much from everybody else. Yet at the same time, I feel like I've barely scratched the surface on what to offer.
It's a great community to share ideas and content about the Microsoft business applications.
Our community basically is our customers coming together.
In the coming years, I expect the community to grow in strength, grow in numbers, grow in resources.
But truly make it a whole global ecosystem where no place leaves untouched.
And that's because we share one thing in common, and that's the community itself.
Even though we can't physically be together, it is so nice to see and hear from members of our community. And new this year, we are supporting the Power Platform and Microsoft Dynamics 365 communities in a whole new way. We have new community-owned Microsoft empowered user groups where you'll be able to engage directly with Microsoft to answer questions, learn about the latest innovations, and influence future product roadmap. They're also a great place to find information that matters to you, with Microsoft employees joining your local community. So if you want to elevate your skills and achieve more at work, please join a local Dynamics 365 or Power Platform community at aka.ms/UG. And in addition, I know James has a very special announcement to make for our communities as well.
I do. Thank you, Alyssa. So a couple of years ago, we started this Fast Track Certified Solution Architect program. We started it with Dynamics 365. Last year, we added the Power Platform, and this year we're continuing to add more certified solution architects into this program. It is a very, very rigorous process. Very few make the cut, frankly. Not only do you have to demonstrate knowledge through tests, but you also have to work side by side with our Fast Track team doing an actual implementation. And so it's a very rigorous program. And I'll tell you that if I was implementing Dynamics 365 or trying to leverage the Power Platform in one of my projects, I would absolutely 100% want one of these individuals overseeing solution architecture for the program. So thank you all for the commitment to this program, for going through this rigorous process, this sort of seal of approval. You can take it to the bank. And so let's hear now from some of our brand new for 2021 Fast Track Certified Solution Architects.
I'm grateful to be recognized as a Fast Track Solution Architect. This is a true acknowledgement of our journey through learning and development, as well as real-world experience in solution delivery. I'm proud to be part of the Microsoft community.
Congratulations to all architects who have achieved this wonderful recognition from Microsoft Fast Track. I am honored to be in such wonderful company and think it's amazing that we continue to try to find ways to improve what we do and how we deliver so that our clients get the best of everything we have to offer. Thanks, everyone.
I love helping customers solve business problems. Thank you so much for this recognition, but this enables us to solve business problems together by helping our customers select the right services and technologies from Azure, the data platform, and Power BI to orchestrate and architect business solutions to solve business problems. Thank you so much. Looking forward to working with all of you.
It's a great honor to be receiving the Fast Track Recognized Solution Architect Award. The Power Platform has been a blessing, especially in the times of COVID-19, where rapid application development was needed. The Power Platform enabled us to build solutions for test scheduling and vaccine management scenarios. It has paved a new road for digital transformation. Thank you, Microsoft.
Hello guys, I hope you are all safe. I'm so happy and honored to be part of this program. Thank you so much, Microsoft. And I'm really excited to discover more about the Power Platform and share my experience with all of you. Join us.
You know, it's hard to believe that just 2 years ago in 2019, we had only 9 Fast Track recognized solution architects. This year we have over 100. And so I want to thank you deeply for going through this program. It's very, very rigorous. Thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your commitment to the craft. And for those who don't know, you have to get recertified every single year so your skills don't atrophy. So it's a huge commitment. And thank you in particular for those who are on a multi-year journey with us and who are being re-recognized this year. Now, we understand that not everyone can be Fast Track recognized, and yet it's critically important with Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform for our customers that implementations go very smoothly. So I'm excited to announce the new Success by Design book. And this has been a labor of love. We started this a couple of years ago where the Fast Track team took thousands of customer case studies, built checklists, provided guidance for exactly how you should think about going on this journey from governance to solution architecture to how to test before you go live. It's a comprehensive look at Success by Design. Now, part of the book talks about sort of our vision for what's possible with Dynamics 365, the Power Platform, and the broader Microsoft Cloud, because there is a huge, huge shift happening right now in business applications and in business process. So let's look at what's possible in the world that we're moving into. Let's say that you are a manufacturer of capital equipment. This is your customer on the screen. They're using your equipment in let's say it's an auto manufacturing facility. The piece of equipment is behind the little person that you see there. Now, in the past, you really didn't engage with your customer except in a reactive process. Let's say that that piece of equipment one day fails. The production line goes down. Cars can't be made anymore. It's an emergency. That customer picks up the phone. They call your maintenance center. They need help. Finally, someone opens an application. Technology gets involved. They start typing into a form, maybe a case record. That trickles data down into a relational database. Now you can go react and sort of get the production line back up and running for your customer. But this is how we've always done business. Very reactive. I call it the application first model. but there wasn't any other way to do it. You know, in 1950, we were using the same business process, but you had filing cabinets behind you instead of a screen in front of you. There is now, though, a fundamental change occurring. And the fundamental change is that data is starting to come out of everything. And that data connects everything. Your customers, your suppliers, your employees, everything is increasingly a source of potential signal. Every car, every thermostat, every piece of metal bending equipment on an auto production line is increasingly a source of signal. And those organizations that can capture that signal, and we've built the Azure Cloud, a planet-scale yottabyte-class storage facility that allows you to capture all of that information, are in a position to go not react, but to predict the future and proact. And so if you look at the stack that we've built and that you'll see today, it starts with Azure, the ability first to capture this data, then with our AI capabilities to make predictions. On top of that, the Power Platform takes those predictions and allows you to build applications, automations, to use Power BI to get insight into what's happening on the ground and what the predictions predict for the future. Those applications, Dynamics 365 and Microsoft 365, built on this platform, take that data-first approach, but they're built on this stack so that you can start with the applications, but you can go down stack as required to tailor them and to add new applications. It's a unified collective of capabilities that I would argue is the world's only digital transformation platform. And the applications that you can build are sandwiched capabilities, layers, if you will, that start from data and work their way up to the user experience. And our ISV community, those partners who are building specialized capabilities, industry targeted, build atop this stack and go to market with us. It's a game changer across every single business process, every single industry, and puts in the hands of your users now applications that don't look anything like they did just a few short years ago. Now that application, because it's powered by data and AI, can predict via an anomaly detection model that that piece of equipment is on its way to a failure, not that it has failed, but that there's sort of trouble brewing. That allows a predictive, proactive business process. Now you can reach out, go solve the problem, whether automatically, digitally, or by sending someone to do maintenance, and the problem never becomes a catastrophe. The production line never goes down. It's a game changer. But that's just one example from one industry in one business process domain. At the end of the day, every single business process in every industry, from customers to suppliers to employees, is up for grabs, is up for reimagination in this data-first versus application-first manner. And that's what the Microsoft Cloud provides. We've built this system that permits you to take this leap from the old reactive world to the predictive world across every business process, and we've wrapped it with the Microsoft Cloud for industry with a veneer in some ways in sort of capabilities that tailor the horizontal capabilities of the Microsoft Cloud for the needs of specific industries. We believe the Microsoft Cloud in all its glory here, as you'll see today, represents the world's first and only comprehensive platform for digital transformation, connecting people with their suppliers, with their customers, and all of their operational processes. So let's take a look now at a couple of examples. We're going to go look at how this technology is actually used in the real world. We'll look at the LA Clippers and see how they're using the Microsoft Cloud, Dynamics, the Power Platform to go engage their fans, their customers in a unique and very powerful data-first predictive way. And then we'll look at Humana and how they've weathered this pandemic, leveraging Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform in particular. And to start us off, we're going to go to Lydia, who's going to show us the LA Clippers and their customer experience system that they've built with Dynamics 365. Take it away, Lydia.
Thanks, James. For the LA Clippers, fans are the lifeblood of their team. They told me that their #1 priority is making sure that each fan is continually surprised and delighted by the relationship they have with them. Each fan is unique, and they want to understand what they're excited about in this very moment
thank you so much,
and deliver
Elisa
that
and Phillips.
fantastic.
So I already just ended that keynote session because the next topic, it's all about with Lindy, but it's all right, we can connect with it later on. Okay, so now we would like to thank James, Elisa, and Microsoft. We know that there are a lot of innovations in store for us, from like the latest product strategy, latest release wave for Microsoft Dynamics 365 and Microsoft Power Platform. And you've also heard the real world stories from global brands. Indeed, Microsoft enable innovations everywhere. Now, let's get the ball rolling and learn from our first featured session titled Transform Quickly with Power Platform. Let us all welcome the Customer Success Manager of Softline, John Christopher Ortiz.
Hello, everyone. Good morning once again to our Microsoft Business Application Summit 2021. I'm John Ortiz, your Customer Success Executive here at Softline Philippines. For today, we're going to talk about how we can transform quickly with Microsoft Power Platform. Before we get started, let me reintroduce first what is Microsoft Power Platform.
Industries across the globe are facing big challenges. Those who have been able to adapt by incorporating cloud technology have been shown to outpace their competitors. Companies who encourage digital skills throughout their organization by giving everyone access to innovative tools in a managed and compliant way will not only increase efficiency, but also gain a competitive advantage. Microsoft Power Platform provides organizations the opportunity to empower team members to build their own solutions through an intuitive low-code or no-code set of services. Citizen developers can now join code-first developers as a team to build mobile and web-first apps by utilizing Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, Power Virtual Agent, and AI Builder. Combined with hundreds of available connectors out of the box in the Microsoft Dataverse, it's easier than ever to create impactful solutions for one person or the entire organization. Plus, with seamless integration between Power Platform applications built by your team and familiar Microsoft products such as Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, or Azure, organizations can break down traditional data silos to move together towards success in this new world of work. Microsoft Power Platform, everyone's home for low-code transformation.
All right, as we have entered this digital transformation journey or hybrid remote work scenarios, we have the opportunities to really abound our smart businesses today. There's so much data at our fingertips from our customers, social medias, and internal or cloud-based applications that we want to put the data to use by creating an innovative application services, by generating more useful to drive better outcome or to drive better business outcome, and by streamlining processes through automation. Everyone sees this opportunity, not just the management and developers. We want to engage our employee to equip them and incorporate this tool that we can outperform and opportunities that we can improve our daily work. And they want to really engage them with the existing processes, both customer facing and internal, by naturally run against the limitation the way things are done. But how do we realize those opportunity when so many challenges get in the way? Businesses tried cloud solution services such as software as a solution, but there's always an application for that. Some processes are best to solve really by developing an application, and you can also customize, and some organization would like to invest by developing their own application, and sometimes organization might not have a required expertise. Some processes require data from multiple and siloed sources, but it's really difficult to share the data between siloed workplace or workload and legacy application. So we want everything else to have an opportunity to really optimize and innovate, to have an end-to-end integrated platform that we could solve these challenges and empower our people to pursue new opportunities. How do we overcome these challenges with the Microsoft Power Platform? With Microsoft Power Platform, it really offers us to unrivaled comprehensive set of low-code tools to meet our organization's need, whether we build an application, workflows, or undertaking an end-to-end platform modernization, or looking to garner data-driven insights. The platform that would really enable us to really perform automation, modernization, and quickly and efficient solve business problems with less or reliance on scarce and expensive resources. It really provides us all of this tool in one just single platform that we can easily integrate to our Microsoft Cloud services, such as Azure, Microsoft 365, and Dynamic 365, and 100 of other applications that we could have result in comprehensive end-to-end business solutions for our organization. Accelerate and automate at scales with intelligence and ease that really empower our people in our organization to automate business processes and really build an application with just simple drag and drop or out of the box data connectivity and native integration to a Microsoft tools and platform that we use every day. Modernize legacy tasks and processes in a secure low-code platform. It really helped us save time by automating legacy tasks with ease using a low-code technology that integrates across your applications and services without compromising our security and rapidly adapt to changing business needs with out-of-the-box solutions. Adapt business workflows or processes to be more agile than ever and create more time for your team and to really focus on strategic work with out of the box application and automation. These four services in Microsoft Power Platform helps our organization to really transform our digitally to be more efficient in accessing and how we will use our data to gain insight, which really facilitates more intelligent businesses and processes, decision making. And some organization may not have achieved this efficient with only programmers or data scientists and tech professionals. This simply are not enough for them. One of the foundational goals of Power Platform is to empower the limitless potential of citizen developers who can use capabilities to really unlock the insights and develop processes that would otherwise never surface. So we want to unlock the innovation, automation, engagement in data. Each of these four services in Power Platform plays an important role in supporting our digital transformation. Power BI and really enhance our analytics and visual data, or Power Application also enable users to have a quickly and easily to create an application. Power Automate provides a seamless automation for processes. Power Virtual Agents offers better engagement with conversational AI. Together, this services the most comprehensive low-code platform available to our organization. With the Microsoft Power Platform, your organization can innovate, automate, engage, and gain greater insight from your data. As we embark this digital journey, we want to accelerate our journey, whatever industry you are part of. Power Platform will unlock this innovation to build a highlight customized task and role-based application. It really enables the visual approach to build an empowering to really for everyone to quickly turn the bright ideas into one just single platform and to have an intuitive to use and ease of for us to easily learn and develop an application using our data available in our organization. And we want to leverage this common data services to really integrate with our data sources. Currently, there are more than 350 connectors, world wide applications, cloud services, databases and APIs that we can use and integrate to our Microsoft Power Platform. It really offers a global hyper scale enterprise grade infrastructure with enterprise reliability and regulatory compliance, a transparent operational model with 99.9% financial backup time guaranteed and additional security built into physical, logical, and data layer. So we want to make sure that when we build an automation in our organization or even an application, we ensure that our data are still compliant and we follow the regulatories that we have in our organization in terms of identity and access, avoid potential data loss, and to perform an encryption. All of this high security enterprise grade infrastructure, we can definitely have the capability to ensure that our data are secured and safe before we have an innovative application that we can use in our organization. So as we move forward, definitely we have on every developers that we use low code. These are the citizen developers that don't have the capability or they don't have a degree in terms of developing an application or undergone comprehensive training to have or to develop a single application using our services that we have. But our pro developer also use this Azure services that can help them innovate and use for more advanced and comprehensive application. And we want the single platform for everyone. We have the citizen developer that can easily intuitive to use and easy to learn and to build a solution quickly and efficiency. Choose from a large selection of templates of from the scratch or easily connect from our solution to data use or data that we have such as Excel to perform Excel like expression to easily add logic. A unified admin center, no compromise on governance, security, once one centralized view and manage of Power Platform deployment, eliminating shadow IT. And also, it follows the GDPR compliance and enterprise grade security with a consistent experience across Microsoft 365 and Dynamic 365. And we want a world-class professional developer to support application lifecycle management that would have experienced full range development and ALM functionality with rich pro developers that it can be a Visual Studio or DevOps. We can also reuse your current IP and scales Power Application Components framework to develop a business application. So now let's see how Microsoft Power Platform works. Let me show you some of the demo on how we can easily adapt and anyone in our organization can perform this without any specific code that we can use to build an application or automation script. So here I have my user and this one, I created a SharePoint team site. We have what we call the Jacob Finance Group. So this group site, the owner of this is, of course, me, and I do have my members. And I would like to know who will be the, or what are the files that potentially my members to add for specific folders that I have here in my SharePoint team site. So for instance, I want to receive a notification if someone added a new file here in my finance group team site. So here I do have Cardo Dalisay. And then if you can see, once you created a SharePoint team site, you will have a shared document library or shared library. So here, what I'm gonna do is I just gonna simply use this uh, and upload a file, and let's see how it will work. So for example, this one, I will upload a file, and then I just want to check if I will receive a notification in my email and to notify if someone uploaded a file to my finance group. So you can also go to the Microsoft Power Automate, wherein you can check and see if your Power Automation is successfully created and working properly. So here, let's click on Edit. And then let's say I want to test, make sure that this is working properly. So let me go and check and perform tests. So let me try to upload once more just to ensure that this will work. Okay, and then there you go. So you can see I have successfully received a notification that someone or one of my team members added a new file to my JCO Finance shared library. And this is how Microsoft Power Platform works. I hope you enjoy and feel free to get to know Microsoft Power Platform by going to and visiting to our website softline.ph if you want to receive assistance on how to develop an application. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, John. So, indeed, it was a great first featured session, and it's a complete session. And you ended it with a demo. This is so great. At least for some of the first timers who learned or who've heard about Microsoft Power Platform, Business Application, or Dynamics 365, then we have an overview. So, thank you so much, John. All right. All right. So aside from expanding our knowledge and learning new capabilities, this summit is also an avenue for sharing stories to inspire and empower each other. So this time, I am grateful to be given a chance to share my story on how six digits earning became possible by being a Microsoft Dynamics 365 consultant. All right, so let me just let me check first our attendees. Again, I do apologize if we had some concerns on the attendee link. And thank you so much for our attendees who reported it. We are sharing the new and updated Teams event link for our attendees. Again, on behalf of our team, we're sorry for the inconvenience, but we still have more sessions to go and you can still participate, engage, and connect with us. Okay? All right. Good morning once again, and I'm here to share and inspire with you my story. It's the six digits earnings made possible by being a Microsoft Dynamics 365 consultant. All right, to get it started, I know you already knew my name earlier, but for some, the other attendees who just joined, my name is Doher Drizzle Pablo. You can call me Drizzle for short. And I started DMD Chic mode with my partners last 2016. I am also a community leader of BizUp's PH community. And I also got a recognition from Microsoft as MVP or Most Valuable Professional for Business Applications. I am also a mother of 3 adorable kids, and I always declare and I believe that I am a blessed daughter of God. All right, so let's get it started. What does the number 6 symbolize? Well, for me, 6 is the number of happiness, stability, and harmony. Also, 6 symbolizes balance, which means you should have balance between love, life, and career. And later on, you'll discover more details about it. Indeed, for some, or shall I say, once you've reached your 6-digit earnings, you'll be joyful and fulfilled. My session for today will be more focused on my earnings, specifically through learnings that I have gained in my journey. Just to set your expectations, okay? I'm not giving away money nor discussing about money, like the exact amount, but I will discuss to you my earnings through my learnings. Rhyming words, right? But it's catchy, okay? So now I will start sharing my 6 digits. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and slowly we unveil it as we go along. All right, so my first learning for earning is never stop learning because life never stops teaching. When I was young, or shall I say, when I was still studying or going to school, I know that I am not intelligent. But I know in my heart I'm diligent because I love to study, make experiments, especially in cooking and trying innovations when I was in 4th grade. I always have new and unique ideas, and I'm not afraid to try and learn. Also, I've got my parents who supported me and even our family, especially in all curricular and even extracurricular activities and lessons. I remember an instance when I was young. I think in my 1st grade or 2nd grade, I was taking a summer lesson. Okay, and I was on my way home in a moving pedicab, or I believe we have a lot of Filipinos here because it's Philippine edition, pedicab o pacha, di ba? So I asked myself, what will happen if I would jump? So just out of curiosity, I jumped from a moving pedicab and I safely landed on the ground and nothing happened to me. So I said to myself, I'll do it again tomorrow. So the next day, I was with my sister, my ate, and I told her about what happened. And I said to her, I'll show it to you. So I jumped and I got wounded. And I asked why. Well, I had that aha moment even when I was young. So I said, oh, maybe because I did not strategize before jumping. So I got wounded. And then I said, it's okay. I'll try again tomorrow. So the 3rd day came, and with all the learnings that I had from the past 2 days, I strategized again and jumped. And guess what happened? I successfully landed now on my feet. So I always do that while taking my summer lessons because the summer school is just a few blocks away from our house. So he'll say that in life, we need to take risks, not by jumping from a pedicab, okay? But by just trusting the process and ourselves. And we just need to continue our learnings from it because life never stops teaching. So I believe we have students here or even millennials or everyone. So when you were young, you have many ways on how you will learn, right? And with the learnings in your younger years, it helped you to be where you are right now. So here I would like to share being a Dynamics 365 consultant, for me, learning the hard way. Simply because I'm not a programmer. I'm not discouraging anyone, but I'm just sharing my experience from a point of view who doesn't learn anything, who's really not into IT before. I'm not a programmer, I'm not a developer, or even an IT graduate. I can say I am an entrepreneur. Yes, I am. But now you are all wondering how come I am successful in my chosen path? So it's just because I earned them through learnings. Yes. Yes, opo. Nagsusunog din ako ng kilay. I also have sleepless nights or minsan 24 hours pa akong gising because I need to work, complete the project task. I need to study because there's an upcoming certification. And of course, since I'm a mom, I also have my mommy duties. All right. But sometimes, if I'm committed to learning, I just don't want to stop until I'll get it. I'll get it done or I'll get it successfully. And then with the Microsoft certifications, it's like board exam. My board exam then. We feel like we have that board exam with Microsoft. And we have a lot of Microsoft certifications. We have recognition. So from the keynote video earlier, so you've seen that Microsoft recognized some professionals, let's say the fast track solution architect. Well, that will be my hashtag go soon. Okay. And yes, of course, the more certification, it's true, the more the merrier. Yep. And then while you take this series of review or this series of certifications, you need to URL. URL stands for me is unlearn, relearn, and learn. Okay? So again, the more certifications, learnings, projects means more digits. Okay? So now, let me share to you how you can earn through learning with Microsoft. Okay? So I would like to present to you, welcome to our Microsoft Learn. So Microsoft Learn, this is just free for all. Thanks to Microsoft for opening your doors for more learnings and limitless opportunities now. I remember way back 2016 when I started my path or my journey with Dynamics. It was called DLP or Dynamics Learning Portal. So for some of the developers or consultants or working with Dynamics ever since, I know you're familiar with this Dynamics Learning Portal, and you only have 3 months free for you to access those training videos, materials, and all. And after that, I believe there are some prerequisites or requirements, or there's a specific payment. That was before, that was 2016. Now, Microsoft Learn is open to all and it's free. Okay, and I highly suggest that you sign up so you can monitor, record your progress. Plus, there's also gamification. So this is more like a productive way on how you can play, learn, and earn at the same time. So who among you love or who's playing ML, Mobile Legend, not machine learning? So, or other games. Well, here with Microsoft, you get motivated when you level up. So I believe I'm on level 11 now. So how about the rest? You can also earn a badge, a trophy. You can also complete a challenge with Microsoft Learn. So Microsoft is releasing a lot of Microsoft challenges wherein there's a chance for you to get free certification exam, because if a certification exam has a specific amount depending on the certification that you wanted to take. But currently, Microsoft is offering free, but there's requirements. And then there's also like a discounted rate for certification due to COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, and then there's also one Microsoft challenge that you can have an entry to a raffle to win some Microsoft Surface and other things. So there's a lot here. So there's a lot of freebies, but of course there's terms and conditions apply. So now, once you've signed up, you need to decide what you want to be in the future. And yes, this can be a paradigm shift, like what James and Elisa said, like what I did 5 years ago. So here, this is what we did before. It was last year. This is literally a path or an easy to understand map. Of course, we will start from the bottom. That's why we start from the bottom. We put start literally from the bottom. And then we slowly continue the course going to our destination. Okay, so it's like before you go to a specific path or you separate the path, you just need to be prepared first. Like we have our digital transformation, our fundamentals for Office 365, or now it's Microsoft 365. Then we have Dynamics 365, Power Platform, Azure, and then you are going to check on your long-term goals, short-term and long-term goals. Now it's time for you to take a different route. It's either you go for Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, Power Platform, and Azure. So each of this route, you have different accomplishment or journey already. Okay, so let me just go. So these are the prerequisites in your journey when you start your career with Microsoft Business Applications. All right, so here, this is just a clearer and simpler way for you to ponder on. So when I started with Dynamics 365, I started just from scratch. Okay, so from being a functional consultant, I found my niche because I know there's a lot of modules. Sometimes you'll be overwhelmed. And then you just need to assess yourself, what do I love the most? Or what's my interest? And then you can start from there. You can have a ranking of the different modules just with Dynamics 365 because that's the path that I chose. So I started to become an expert with CRM or customer engagement. I started Sales Hub, Customer Service Hub, Marketing, Field Service, Project Operations. And little by little, I just expand and cover the other modules because some of the projects that I've worked with, business wants like an end-to-end Dynamics 365 experience. So I also had an experience in finance and operations, supply chain like for warehousing, business central. And then of course, along the way, you can take the path of a solution architect. So recently or from that video earlier, you can also be a recognized fast-track solution architect, which that will be my goal in the next years. Yeah. All right. So with Dynamics 365 or Microsoft Business Applications, you just need to choose the right path for you to learn, and then you will start earning. Okay. Questions? All right, feel free to utilize the Q&A portion on our Teams live event because we want to engage with you. Okay. All right, so next would be is my second learning is turn your stumbling blocks into stepping stones. So we all have our own story to tell because everyone is unique, okay? We have our past and we encountered some challenges, but I believe we were able to overcome them. Or we are trying to overcome, especially right now, because we are still in the midst of COVID-19 crisis, COVID-19 pandemic. Now, I would like you to think of a moment when you turned a stumbling block into a stepping stone. All right, so maybe I'll give you a couple of seconds. While I'm sharing my story, you can also have a hashtag throwback of that specific experience that you had a stumbling block and then you made it as a stepping stone. So in my younger years, I did not finish the last year in college because I need to be our family's breadwinner. Yes, this was one of my stumbling blocks, and it is a major one because I was thinking if I will ever be accepted in my dream job or jobs, if I am an undergraduate. But I have this conviction, and I know that I can do it. I said to myself, yes, I can rise above this situation and be successful. And now, during my D365 or Dynamics 365 consultant years, even when I was starting, it's also a trial and error. But also, there's a trial and success too. So always remember that. So it's true, try and try until you succeed, not the other way. Okay? We also encourage that it's not always Christmas Day or sunny day in our project implementation. We also encountered some concerns, issues, bugs. Let's say earlier we had technical difficulties, but it will add up to your learnings. Then in the future, you will have a better way on how you do things, and you will have a better way on how you do your project. Okay? And then to our students in the audience, I'm not saying that you should not finish your studies. You go for it, finish it, especially when you have the means and the opportunity. Finish your studies. To our attendees who lost your job due to pandemic or who wants a paradigm shift, remember that you can always make a stumbling block into a stepping stone. I also would like to share this because this is one of the best lessons that I have learned in life. When I was in 4th grade, it's my first time to finish reading a book because I don't love reading. So the first book that I finished reading was a self-help book. And this was one of the statements that I loved and brought it with me wherever I go. So how about you? What is one of the best lessons you have learned in life? So just type it in our Q&A sections and our moderators will publish some. Okay? All right. So now let's continue our earning through learning. So it's ECCs. Okay, so just remember the 3 C's. Communicate, collaborate, and connect. All right. So when we were kids, our parents, teachers, and some of our relatives teach us how to properly communicate from the first letter sound, from our first word, and then first sentence, paragraph, and then more as we progress. Indeed, communication is the key to anything, right? So if you want to get something, you ask for it. If your friend or loved one has a problem, you listen. So communication is easy, right? But why do we have miscommunication? Because sometimes we fail to collaborate and connect with them, right? So during my 365 or Dynamics 365 consultant years, these 3 C's were being practiced too, especially in all the stages of the project. We communicate with our clients or project stakeholders and even our project team members. We treat them like they are our family member and show to them that we care. And we are here to give a solution to their problems, as what John said from his session earlier. So John highlighted some challenges, and then they offered, Softline is offering multiple solutions for specific problems. So that's what we usually do. Okay, so I've handled different clients, so from local, of course, mas gusto ko local kasi para Filipino lang, magkakaintindihan tayo, maiintindihan talaga natin kung ano yung kailangan nila. Meron din multinational, international clients, So from APAC region, ANZ, NA, and even Europe. So even yung system, I need to make it like Danish. And I have my translator. So I can easily understand everything. So I'm switching my language for the different systems, but that's okay. All right. So I also had the privilege to work with the CEOs, CTOs, managing directors during our project. So when we were young, we look up to them, right? We felt intimidated because you'll think about maybe they'll not cooperate or something. What will I do if I'll talk to them or what? And then when I overcame it, and then I was able to build rapport and relationships with this top management, I felt like, okay, I should not be intimidated. They are also like us. And you just need to be yourself when you're communicating with them. All right. So not just communicate, but also establish a good connection and collaboration with these people. But not only this, like top management, C levels, but even your project team members. You need to treat them like your family members. Because if you treat them as your family members, you care, you help them, and you support each other. So that's one of the best qualities of Microsoft. Microsoft strongly supports our community. So from the keynote, you've seen that James and Elisa were sharing like how many communities they built. And then if you want to choose this path with Microsoft Business Apps or Dynamics 365, just connect with our community, right? So our community strongly supports each other, help each other, and we can also be your mentors. So one of our community leader as well for BizApps PH, just to share, Jessica. So just include her in your prayers. She is also asking for financial support because she has this health condition, and the whole Microsoft community is helping her. Okay, so that's how we support each other, not just in uplifting, helping you with a project. Let's say, how do we do this? Do we need to do coding? What is the code? Or how are we going to do this? These people, the community members, will help you. So you earn these connections, these people along the way. So this is important. Okay. All right. Fourth learning is be dynamic. Embrace change for the better. So our fourth learning, change is constant. You always know that. It's cliche already. So I'll not focus on that. But with Dynamics 365, from the word itself, it's really dynamic. And for a business to thrive, or even you as a person, then we just need to embrace change. And then from the keynote and John's presentation, he was able to share the evolution of Microsoft Business Application. So before I created this, because I've seen, like, this is an eyeglass that you just need to look into it. And then this is also like an infinity symbol, because Microsoft offers limitless possibilities and then limitless opportunities. And now this is the updated one, because there's a lot into our Microsoft Business Applications ecosystem, which was discussed on our keynote and which was also touched, just the tip of the iceberg, by John. Okay. The fifth, earning for learning, is be a servant leader. So here, I believe even when I was young, I am born to be a leader. I usually volunteer. I love to lead and serve even when I was in first grade. I usually create my groups. I create communities. I create clubs. That's why I am one of your community leader, because that's my passion, to serve and lead. So same with D365 consultant years. You lead, you support each project team members, especially your stakeholders too. And this is in line with Microsoft's mission. So I just want to share Microsoft's mission because in everything that I do, I also bring this to empower every person and organization to achieve more. All right. So 6, earning for learning is always have faith, hope, and love. So believe, just believe in everything. So believe that everything is possible, especially with God. You also believe in yourself that you can do it. Because if you don't, then others won't. Okay, so just have that conviction that you can because you know you can. We know you can also. And then hope, always hope for the best is yet to come. And lastly, of course, is love. Love what you're doing. Love what you're doing that stirs up your passion, which my passion is to serve and lead through the ways that I can. And then I also ask myself, when I was doing my bullet points for this presentation last night, is this the right time for the summit? Because it's also the date of our former President Aquino's interment. So like what they believed, Filipinos are worth dying for. And yes, Filipinos are worth fighting for. I'll continue to uplift our community and we are going to continuously support, especially Microsoft Philippines para sa bayan. Alright? So I'll be ending my session with this pyramid. Okay, so this is not a pyramiding scheme. All right, so I know this is familiar to you. So first we live by this and we need this every day. So like it's our basic needs. And what are your basic needs? Like food, water, shelter. Second is safety needs like your security, health, and finances. Third is love or belongingness like your friendship, intimacy, and family. Fourth is esteem needs like respect, status, recognition. Fifth is self-actualization, self-fulfillment, meeting one's full potential in life. So I was able to achieve this because Microsoft made this all possible. They offer limitless opportunities. That's why I'm sharing and inspiring you how I got the 6 digits earning. And yes, it is really 6 digits because I earned and learned, and I am continuously learning and learning. Indeed, 6 is the number of happiness, stability, and harmony. It also symbolizes balance, balance with your love, life, and career. So now, the challenge for you is to start learning and earning. And together, we continue to engage, empower, and inspire every Filipino. And we hope to see you on our next event. So thank you. And I hope you can also share some insights on our Q&A portion. Okay? All right. So I hope my story has inspired you in one way or another. And now I will go to our next featured session to give us an introduction to mixed reality biz apps in Power Platform. Here is one of our Microsoft's most valuable professional for business applications, Mary Angela Cerboles.
Thank you so much, Hazel. Hi, everyone. I'm trying to share my screen.
All right, Ange, you can go ahead and share your screen.
and for abroad. Okay. Let me know if you can see it.
Okay, sure. Yes, we can see your screen now.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. And I hope you're okay during this pandemic. Before I start, let me know. Okay, my name is Mary Angela Servalis, or you can call me Ange, and I'm an application analyst and also a Microsoft MVP here in Singapore. My job mostly is focused on SharePoint, Office 365, Power Apps, and Power Automate. And you can also find me in Twitter, and also I post some blogs in my website, so you can find me in my blog in angeservalis.net. So that's about me. So for today's sessions, I'm going to discuss about the mixed reality in business application, how we can add mixed reality components in our Power Apps, some requirements that we need to guide or requirements that we need to when we are building our app using the mixed reality components, and what if you don't have any 3D objects, and where can we get one if we are doing our testings in our application, and also we'll do some demo. So mixed reality has become a key part of our digital transformations. It helps the businesses visualize and interact with digital objects in the real world. It also helps us collaborate with our colleagues and our partners around the world. With this pandemic that we're encountering, with mixed reality, we can also help collaborate with our teams and colleagues around the world. So mixed reality and business application with the use of Dynamics 365 guides and HoloLens, we can easily train and guide the new employee with the tools that they need to learn, for example, when they're assembling a machine. So it helps them guide them the step-by-step process on how to assemble a machine. It also helps us collaborate with our colleague or help our customers fix an issue that they encounter with the use of Dynamics 365 Remote Assist, and also help customers visualize products, and with the use of the Dynamics 365 Visualize. You can also use Remote Assist and Product Visualize on your mobile by downloading the app. Now, so how can we easily add mixed reality in our application, especially when we're going to build an app using the Power Apps? So, and I'm excited to share to you all that last April, mixed reality in Power Apps has been released in general availability. So you can now start adding mixed reality components in your application. So with this, it helps your organization or your businesses visualize and interact digital objects under your world. You can also view the products you order online, take measurements, and easily visualize them from our home or business area instead. So the mixed reality components that is available in Power Apps are the following. So 3D view and MR, 2D and 3D objects. So it can view 3D content and 2D images in mixed reality. Measure and MR. It will take a measurement in the real world, so you don't need to have a measuring tape to measure a certain area in the locations that you want to measure. View shape, it helps you view shapes by using its width, height, and depth properties of the component. So the mixed reality components in Power Apps are not a premium component, which means that you don't need to have an additional license to add this component in your applications. You will know if the component is in premium if you see the diamond icon in the left area of the component in your Power Apps. And also the requirements that you need. So what you need to have is your for your mobile devices, it should have a AR core capable devices. So you can it should be compatible to do a mixed reality in your phone. And the supported file type for your 3D object, it should be that GLB file. So currently that's the available supported file. So I'm not sure if they're going to extend it, but I'll let you know if there's an additional supported file type for the 3D objects. And also your data source should be a course compliant URLs, which means that your Power Apps or your component can communicate with your data source. Like for example, for your 3D models, it's, for example, you store your 3D models in GitHub, SharePoint, or OneDrive, or wherever it may be, as long as they can communicate with your Power Apps and your data source. So now, for example, if you want to explore or if you want to build 3D objects, mixed reality in Power Apps. So what if you don't have 3D objects? There are also some free online 3D objects that you can explore. And also in Windows 10, if you type 3D Builder, it will automatically open the 3D Builder application. So you can start exploring, build from, there's already a template 3D available that it's in the 3D Builder, which you can save it and save as that GLB file, and you can explore it from there. Now for the demo, try to switch screen. Okay. So what I have here is just a simple application. So please ignore the UI and everything. So my data source is SharePoint because I'm doing SharePoint. So I use the SharePoint list. So what I have here is a furniture list, and the items that I need for a SharePoint are the following. So if I edit this one, much better day, I need to view that one. Okay, let's say in my SharePoint list, what I need in my app is the price, the details of the shelf, the height, the width, and the depth, and the attachment, which is the .glb file. So what am I going to do with this item? If we search here, let's take this example scenario, business case scenario. So is when I click the mixed reality button in my app, this is using the measure and MR component. So it will open the live feed camera to take the measurement of these two glass cases, because I want to change it to a bookshelf. So just point the device from point A to point B, take the measurement. I use the centimeter, and from the measurement that I get, it will filter the available bookshelf from the measurements that I get. And I could view the object in 3D in 3D component using the view 3D component. So I can zoom in and zoom out, and then use the view and MR components to visualize the object in the real world. So I can move around where I'm going to put the bookshelf that I want to put in the real world. And from there, I can take it from photo, and you can use this photo to send it to your customer or to your supplier for your approval. So that's what we're going to do. So the component that we're going to use is view and MR and measure and MR. Okay, let's go back to the demo. Okay, so from there, so I have this, okay, go back to my SharePoint list. So I have the description, measurement, width, depth, and the images of the furniture, as well as the attachment, which is the .glb file. If you can see this, it's somewhere here. Yeah. Now, so go back to my app. So the app, to see the components of the mixed reality, so you will have here in this category. So you will have the view and MR, view, shape and MR, and measure and MR. So where's the view in 3D? So the view in 3D is under here in the media, and here the view in 3D. This is what I mean about the premium components. So you will see the diamond icon here. So it means that this component is a premium. So you need an additional license for that one. Okay, so now what I've done in my app is I insert a measure and MR component. So this is the measure and MR component. So I just select this one, measure and MR, and enter it. This has been inserted already. And then in the properties of this measure and MR, what I have is text. The text here, if I'm going to select the display type, so the current display type that I have is icon, which you can use the icon plus text and text. So if you select icon plus text, so the text here, let me read here. Oh, much. Okay, so the text here, you can change it here and in the text property. So I could use take measurement. Well, which can automatically change, but for this demo, I'm gonna use the icon so that it will shrink a bit. And then the unit of measurement, because I use the centimeter, so you can use either feet, inches, and meters. And then the measurement type, I use the distance, so you can have area, volume, and freeform. And for the advanced properties, because I want to take the measurement, I want to take the measurement that I get from the real world. So what I'm going to do is under the unchanged properties of the measure and MR. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set the variable width in centimeter from the value that I get from the measure and MR measurements properties, that length. So the first measurement that I get from the measure and MR component, and then I'm going to store it in the variable width in centimeter, and then so what am I going to do with the width in centimeter variable? So first I'm going to display it here in the text. So I'm going to display the width that I get from the measurement that I took, and then from here, I inserted a gallery. So the gallery can be found here. So I used a vertical one, and then I just modified something in here. And from the main gallery, I used the data source furniture list, which is the furniture list here. This list. And then if you want to filter the value of the width that I get from the width in centimeter here, so you could just use this code or function. So you just filter the furniture list with the value of width in centimeter if greater than or equal to width in centimeter variable. Oh, less than. Yeah, I kind of mix it with that. Greater than, less than. Yeah, okay, that one. So, and then it will display all the available width from your furniture list. And then after you put all the details that you need, you have the images, title, and then the description and the price. So if we're going to click this gallery, because I want to have a detailed information of that application, I mean the furniture. So what I have here is I want to use the 3D object because I have a 3D model that I have from the attachment in this list. So I have the attachment here. So I inserted the view in 3D, which can be found again here in the media, and then the view in 3D. And then the source for this one, I used the main gallery that selected the attachment that value. So this is the attachment value of the attached file, that 3D model in my furniture list. And then what I have here is another gallery, and detailed gallery. I'm gonna collapse that one. Detailed gallery. So what I have here is the items that I use is the main gallery that's selected, which is the main gallery selected that I have is this one, the shelf to play. Use the modern shelf so that it looks so fancy. Now, so I can zoom in, zoom out this one. Okay, so in the main gallery is that's selected. So the fields that I have here is the image, which is this one. and then the description and the title of that furniture. And then within the gallery, I inserted the view and MR. This view and MR, which if you click this button, it will open a live feed camera and will display your 3D model in the physical world. So the value for this one is the source is view main gallery that attachment that value. So it is the attached value from the furniture list. So this is the source. And then you can also use that change the display type of the view and MR properties. So you can have icon plus text and text. So that you could use the icon plus text like this one, and then change that view furniture. And then I use this unit of measurement centimeters. It's too big. I'll just stick to the I'll stick to the icon. Okay. And then the object width. So if I width, this value comes from the main gallery selected, which is this one. I mean in the list. So I have the width, depth, and height because I want to see the real measurement that is available in the shelf in the list that I want to display it in the real world. So what I use is the object width. This is that item width. So I set this value, and then same with the height. So I get the height and the height of the furniture and the depth as well. So this is that item that depth. So all this value comes from the main gallery that's selected, or from the main source, which is the furniture list. So that's what the things that I configure, as well as because I want to take a photo of the I want to take the photo from the live feed using the live feed camera that I used a while ago during in the application. So what I changed from the unchange of the view and MR. So I'm going to take the properties view and MR photos. That's the properties that is available in view and MR photos. And then if it is not blank or error, I'm gonna collect the photos, which I'm doing the taking a screenshot or taking a photos. So I'm going to collect those photos, store it in the collection photos, using the view and MR photos properties. So the collection of this photo, I'm going to display it below of the detailed information of this furniture. So I'm going to insert another gallery here. So this is the gallery that I just inserted, and I use the items photos, which is the photos from the collection that I get here in the view and MR properties. So that's how I build this app. Now let's say you don't have any because the source that I have for example, you don't have, sorry. So let's say you don't have a 3D object in your data source. You only have images. So what you need to do is you could use instead of use the 3D, you could use main gallery. Main gallery that selected that image, because I have an image that is available. So if I click this button, it will open a live camera. Instead of viewing the 3D object, it will display the 2D, the images. The good thing about the 2D images, it will have also the depth and the width and the length, which has a box. looks like. I think there's some technical difficulties that I just encountered. I have been on hold. So let me try to go back again to the demo that I have. Okay, so if we go back here in the demo, so this time instead of displaying the 3D objects, what I'm going to show is I'm going to view the object using the 2D. I mean, instead of using the 3D model, I'm going to use the images. Oh, okay. This is not going on. Oh, okay. Next up. So if we go back here in my demo, let's say you don't, instead of using images, currently the images doesn't display. Okay, so if I don't have images or 3D objects in my app, I can use the place an object. I'm going to use the shape, view shape and MR components in my application. So what I have here is the view shape and MR. Instead of using the 3D objects or view images, I'm going to display just a cube. So in the properties, it has also the same properties with the other components. So what I have here is the text, display type, icon text plus icon, and the text. So the other, and then the units of measurement could be centimeters, feet, inches, and meters. But this time I'm going to use the centimeter one. And then the shape, width, height, I'm going to get it from the value of that height, item height, same as well. I'm going to change it. Is that item dot width as well as the depth. And then after that, so this is what it looks like. Like this is the one that I just showed you earlier. So instead of using the object 3D, the 3D object, I could use as well the shapes to visualize the objects that I want or that I want to change in the real world. So this is so on. Okay, and then you could also view it in the other side and then take up photos and then use these photos to do your measurement approval with your other members. Okay, so that's those are the components that is available in the Power Apps. So you could have view and MR, view shape and MR, measure and MR, view and 3D. So that's how easy it is to create the application with mixed reality in Power Apps. So it's just easy breezy to just click and drag and drop and then manipulate, do some changes with the functions, and that's it. So to know more about the mixed reality and Power Apps, you can scan this code, and also you could check out the docs.microsoft.com at Power Apps Maker, as well as in the community. And also, if you have any ideas that you want to share, that you want to improve in the product, you can also use the Power Apps ideas form. And thank you so much. So you could just ping me on Twitter, and also you can find me as well at LinkedIn. So thank you so much for your time. And okay.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ange. We have some questions on our Q&A. Well, thank you so much to our attendees. They are really engaging with us. So can I ask you those questions, Ange? I think I have two, just two related to your session. So first, it's from Raymond. Hi, Raymond. Thank you for this question. What are the minimum PC requirements in building mixed reality?
Minimum requirements. For the mixed reality, because this one is only building the object, 3D object, which is already, unless you're going to build the 3D models from scratch, which I'm not sure. I honestly not sure how big is the requirements that you need to build the 3D objects from scratch. But if it's just a simple one, you could have like a bare minimum of 8 gig RAM, and then because I'm just using my own development, because in my own PC I use only 16 gig RAM, one SSD. I honestly I'm not sure what's the basic requirements for building the next reality in the, if we're going to build the 3D model in from scratch. But in my end, I only use 16 gig RAM, one terabyte SSD. That's my own computer. That's my development laptop.
All right. Thank you so much, Ange. Another question. What license does Miss Pretty, sorry, I came in late, is demoing?
License for, sorry, I didn't get the license.
Yes, maybe the license for that solution.
For the license one, if for example, if you're just only doing the development one, not in your company, you could start from development. I forgot the developer community plan. I'm going to send you the link for that one. If you aren't going to build it like only for your own learnings and exploration, let me send you that link.
All right, sure. So those are the only questions, Ange. And thank you so much for this very informative. I learned something new again. And you know what, Ange? I always look forward to any of your events, especially if you are like my co-speaker, because I always learn something new about you, like mixed reality. Well, Ange is like the go-to person when it comes to mixed reality. And I'm really in awe when you're doing the session. So despite of that technical issues, of course, that's part of it. But overall, I'm still in awe. Amazing, Ange. So thank you so much.
Thank you as well for doing this amazing this event. I've never wait, when was the last time that I've been in Philippines? I think starting the pandemic, and I miss going back. Looking forward to
and I hope I can see you. Yes, we can meet face to face again.
Sure. I will.
Okay, so now it is said that people learn best by doing. So let us learn more about Power Platform Extension for Visual Studio Code through a laboratory session. So let us all welcome a YouTuber with 11,000 plus subscribers and a Microsoft certified trainer, a lead developer of Binary Republic. Let us all welcome Dhruvin Shah.
Hi, Dor.
Hi, Dhruvin.
All right. So let me know when you're able to see my screen.
Okay. All right. Let me put you on the live session now. Can you are you going to turn on your video or no?
Okay, so Dor, actually my
It's okay.
camera has some issues, so I'm not just, yeah.
It's all right. It's all right. No worries. So here we go. Thank you, Dhruvin. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Dor. All right. So first of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are joining. Thank you so much for joining Microsoft Business Application Summit for Philippines edition. And today I'm going to talk about Visual Studio Code extension for Power Platform. This is something new which has been just introduced by Microsoft couple of weeks ago, and here I'm going to show you the step-by-step procedure, what are the features and how that will be useful into your day-to-day scenario. Now, before we get started, let me just give you a little bit introduction about me. Myself, Dhruvin Shah, and I am working as a Power Platform specialist at one of the reputed company at India. And I'm an active blogger and YouTuber, having published 550 plus tech videos on my YouTube channel. And this is one short URL. This is Linktree URL. So this is very simple, Linktree/Dhruvin.Shah. And once you click on that particular link, what happens is it will redirected you to my all social media handles from where you can follow me on my YouTube, website, Instagram, LinkedIn, all social media profile. So I will share that link at the end of the session. So if you have any other question, you can reach me out on any of my social media handles. So without wasting much time, let's get started with the objective for today's session, what we are going to cover throughout this entire session. So basically, first of all, I'm going to start with the basic thing. So first of all, we will be talking about how we can install the Visual Studio Code extension in your machine. After that, we will be talking about how we can achieve, what are the things, which are the different commands and which are the facilities that is provided by this Visual Studio Code extension. And we will understand the different commands, and at last what we will do is we will pack and unpack our Power Apps file. So this is the most requested thing which most developers are wanted to use. Like at this moment, we know that in Power Apps, whenever we are working with Canvas app, at a time a single developer can work on the app. Now at this moment this functionality is in preview, but it will what we can do is we can download our MSF file and we can unpack the file, and which will provide you the source code for your every screen, and you can upload that on your GitHub repository. And at the same time, if you have some basic coding knowledge, you can start with the multiple developer working on the same code. And after that, once your work is done, you can pack that file and push again to the Power Apps portal. So this is something that I'm going to show you throughout this demo, so stay connected. So let me get started with the demo part first. So here I am on my machine and I just opened Visual Studio Code on my machine at this moment. The very first step that we need to do here is we need to install the Power Platform extension for Visual Studio Code. So how can you install that? For that, when you open your screen for the first time, on the left hand side you will be able to see this action, and there is an option called extension. Just click on that and here search for Power Platform. So I'm just searching for Power Platform. And here we are. You can see Power Platform Visual Studio Code extension. So just click on that. So what happen here is it will show you some preview to you on your right hand side navigation. And from here, at this moment I already installed, so it is not showing me install button, but when you are opening for the first time, it will show you the install button. You simply need to click on install button and it will take around 3 to 5 minutes in order to install that thing in your machine. That is the only basic setup that you need to do. So this is very first step, right? So once you are installing that this Power Platform Visual Studio extension, the very next step is that you need to open your terminal in your Visual Studio. So how can you open that? So for that, just go to the terminal and click on new terminal. So what happened here is on the below screen, this kind of terminal will open for you. So you can see this is the terminal which is just opened over here, right? Now the commands that are used in Visual Studio Code extension, which are those commands? Let's talk about that thing in detail over here. So the very first command that we can leverage here is pack command. So let me just zoom a little bit so you are able to see that clearly. And let me just minimize this extension screen. Okay, so now only terminal is opened on my screen. All right. So when you type pack command, what happen here is it will show you all the commands that you can leverage with your Visual Studio Code extension for Power Platform. So they are different commands like authorization, canvas app command, help command, organizational related command, package. So let's say if you wanted to package your Dataverse object, then you can go with these commands. For Power Apps portal as well, some of the CLI commands are available. Power Apps control framework as well, some commands available. For plugin and solution management, some set of commands available. And for telemetry as well, some set of commands available. So let's get started some basic command, and I will explain you how easy it is to use. Like Microsoft has provided so good functionality over here with the help and syntaxing part. I will also explain you that thing here. So let's say for an example, you just wanted to know about some admin command, right? So then what you can do is simply PAC and admin and just hit enter. So what happened here is it will list out for you all the commands that can be used with respect to admin perspective. And even if you wanted to know some of the syntax for your command, like if I type here pack admin means which are the functionality that as an admin I can do. So I can list all my environment information. I can create the Dataverse environment. I can take a backup of my environment, delete the environment, reset the environment, backup of your environment, and restore environment, copy the source environment to destination environment and status. So these are the thing I can do. But let's say for an example, I'm coming here for the first time and I do not know that how to do that. Then how can I check the syntax? So that is very simple command. Let's say for an example, I just wanted to know out the syntax for the listing of all my environment. So I will just type pack, then admin, and I can simply type list, and then I will just type help. So what happened here is once you type that command, Microsoft will provide the syntax for that as well as the usage for that particular command. So here you can see that they clearly provide us this particular syntax. So you simply copy this syntax, paste it, and just provide the appropriate parameter and do your work that you wanted to do. Right? So this is very simple. Now let's talk about the authorization, like to connect this particular environment thing. Let's say I just installed Visual Studio Code extension and now I wanted to perform some of the command. Then first of all, I need to connect to my Power Apps environment. So how can I do that? So for that, the command is very simple. Let me talk about that thing. So for that, authorization command has been used. So you simply need to type pack AUTH authentication, right? So when you hit enter, let's see what happens. And this is take some time. Okay. All right. So you can see here when I type pack authentication, it provide me this many of commands: create, list, select, delete, and name, right? So very first thing is that we need to create my authentication profile. So I need to type pack auth and then create, right? And then I need its syntax. So I will type help. So let me just do that thing for you. Pack auth, then I want to create my authentication profile and I need help. So I will just type help. So what it will provide you is the syntax here. So this is the basic syntax: pack authentication, create. Then you need to provide your authentication profile name. So let's say whatever name you wanted to give, you can give. Then second parameter is kind. So you want to connect your Power Apps with the administrator privileges, or you wanted to connect that as a normal user. You can provide it to here. Then URL, the authenticate the URL for your environment you need to provide here. Username and password you need to provide, right? So let's create one authentication profile. So I am just typing my ready-made command here, that is pack authentication create, and I'm just providing my authentication profile name as Dhruvin CLI, and I'm just wanted to log in as the admin because I want to execute some of the admin command, and then URL. Now how will you find that URL? Let me show you. So basically this URL is nothing but you simply need to open your Power Apps and you simply need to go to your settings section, and here there is an option called session details. Just click on that. So once you go that, here you find your instance URL, and this is the same URL that you need to use over there. So that is the very simple thing, right? So I just provided that URL, and now let me hit enter. So what happened here is it will prompt me to sign in with my account. So I'm just signing with my account here. And here I am. My authentication has been done successfully, and you can see that this connection has been validated, and I just log in with admin privileges, right? Now, second step, let's say at the very beginning, we executed this pack command, and we know that this many of command has been provided by the Power App CLI. Now, which are the admin commands? Let's see PSC admin, and then we can see this many of command list. So I want to list out all my environments that are available for me. So what I can do is I can simply use admin, then I can simply, first of all, I need to use pack. So beginning is started with PSC pack, then we need to use admin, then we need to use list. So what happened here is once you hit enter, it will list out all available environment for you. So let me just hit enter, and here we are. You can see all this environment from my tenant is showing me over here on my screen, right? Now let's talk about some Canvas app commands. So for that, let me just type here a command pack canvas and help. So what it will do is it will provide you the list of the Canvas app commands that you can leverage, which are pack command and unpack command, right? So let's talk about its syntax first and what it will do it for you. So basically it will provide you all the source file to you on the Visual Studio Code, and you can change and you can upload to your GitHub repository, and you can work with the multiple developers. But yes, for that you need to keep some of the things in your mind, right? So let's talk about that thing. Now for demo purpose, let me show you one thing first. So basically I just created one Power Apps over here, that screen size Power Apps, right? So this is some basic commands I just put into my Power Apps. Now what I want to do is I want to pack and unpack this file, meaning I want to extract my source code from this Canvas app. So how can I do that? First of all, you need to download your file. So just go to the file menu and save as, and for this computer, let's select that, and it will show you the downloaded file for you over here. So you can see my MSF file has been downloaded. Let me just open up that folder here. So you can see this is the folder. This is the MSF file which is just downloaded, right? And now I want to extract that file to one of my folder. Like let's say for an example, I will just create one new folder over here. Microsoft Business Application Summit, Philippines. And now I will extract this file to this folder, right? So how can I do that? Let's see. So I'm just going back to my terminal. All right. So first of all, we need to see the syntax for my unpack and pack command. So unpack will something which extract an MSF file into source, and pack is something which will pack the sources into MSF file. So first of all, the very first step is that we need to unpack our file. First of all, we download it, so we need to unpack. So we simply need to go here, pack, then canvas, and then we need to use a command unpack, and then I need some help for that. So let's hit enter, and it is providing me the syntax for the same. So here we need to provide the source path as well as MSF file path. So let's provide that path over here. So let me just use CLS command, and let me just use a code here. pack, canvas, unpack. First of all, we need to use unpack, and then we need to provide source. So source is something like where you want to extract your file. So basically I want to extract my file to this new folder, that is Microsoft Business Application Philippines, right? So I will just change that path over here first. So I'm just changing as Philippines. Need to go here and just need to change this one. And let me just verify that path. So I'm just copying here, going here. Let's copy and make sure that you paste the exact same location. Otherwise it will give you an error. This is one limitation that, whenever we type here, we need to place the cursor to that specific location and need to paste. All right. Then second command was MSF command. So here we need to provide the path for our MSF. So this is the path for my MSF because we downloaded this file over here. So we simply need to go here in the file explorer and just check screen size.msf. So let's copy that and paste it the same thing over there. Right. So I provided the exact same thing here. And now let's hit enter. All right, so you can see that unpack file done successfully. Now, how can I check my unpack file? Let's see. So this is the folder that we created. And here you can see that all these files are extracted perfectly. Now let me just open up this file and show it to you. I'm going here and I'm just going open folder and I'm just opening this folder for you. And here we are. Yes, trust this author. And here you can see that all these files has been appeared to me over here. Like in Power Apps, there are different types of screens available. Like I have created my screen one. So all the YAML files are available here. And now as a developer, I just wanted to make some formatting changes, or let's say I wanted to apply some commands over here, I can do that. This is the total whole story for YAML code files. And for this is a huge concept. For this also I prepared a separate video on that, and which is available on my YouTube channel. So I will share the link as well, that what do we mean by each file structure over here, right? So this is very simple and very useful. So let's say as a developer I made some changes, like I made one of the change in this screen, another developer make change into another screen, and now the development process has been completed, and now we just wanted to make this solution to be available on Power Apps online. Then how can I do that? For that, again, open your terminal. So let me just open up my terminal again. So I'm going here and clicking on terminal. And again, let me just use a command pack, and we need to now pack our file. So let me just use a command PAC, then canvas command I want to use, and after that I need to use a command pack. And then what we need to do here is we need to provide source path over here. So source path would be now where my extracted files are. Let me just provide that. So let's say for an example, at this moment my files are available to this specific folder, right? This is the folder. Now let's copy this folder path. My developer has completed work and everything is stored at this location. So let's provide that path. And after that, you need to provide MSF file path. So where you want to generate your MSF file. So I want to generate my MSF file to my download folder, and I just wanted to make that file name as screen new .msf. So we will get an idea that the file is properly generated or not. So I done with this, and now let me hit enter. Then what happens? Let's see. So you can see that the file has been packed successfully. Now let me open up my download folder and let's see if the file with screen new is created or not. So I'm just opening my folder again. So this is my download folder and you can see that just a moment this new file has been created. Now what I can do is I can go back to the Power Apps and upload that MSF file. So simply you need to go here and simply you need to open and you need to simply click on browse and simply go to your download folder and upload this particular file. And let's do one thing. Let me just not save my existing file and you can see this file has been uploaded. Sorry, this is the older one, but let me just close this one and now let me open up a new file that is screen new and let's see. Yes, it has been uploaded successfully and now you can also give some other name for saving your app over here and save this file and it is available for you to use, right? So these are very simple and straightforward easy commands that we just check out with the Power Apps Visual Studio Code extension. The same thing you can achieve with the help with the PowerShell as well, because Microsoft also provide PowerShell CMDlets as well for this particular stuff. But here we tried something new with the Visual Studio Code extension and which is really helpful and it is very easy for users in order to use that. Now let's check which are the other commands we can leverage here. So let me just clear this thing and let me just type again pack command and you can see some other commands like let's say for an example now I wanted to check we talked about the canvas commands, we talked about admin command and we talked about authentication command. Now let's say if you want to leverage some other commands like help command is also I explained. So let's say for any of the command if you need any help you simply need to type help after your command name and it will provide you the entire syntax for you. And let's talk about some another command which we can leverage for packaging and Power Apps portal. So simply you need to type psc then your command name and then help and let's see what are the command which is provided by this one. So over here you can add references, deploy and show the detail of your Dataverse package and initialize the directory with a new Dataverse package object. And similar way, if you need some additional information and syntax information, you can use the same command and you can just ask for help and it will provide you the information. Similar way for Power Apps portal, how many commands are there? Let's see. PSE and then I need to type Power Apps portal. Let's type that and then I need some help. So I just hit enter and you can see here what you can do is list all the portal websites from the current database organization. Then you can download the portal website content from current Dataverse organization and you can upload the website content to the current organization environment. So this is something which you can done for Power Apps portal. Some PCF commands are also available. So simply need to type pack PCF and then PCF and then just type help and what it will do is it will provide you the commands what is the information that you can done with the PCF. So you can basically push your Power Apps component framework, you can patch the version for controlling. So these are the things you can do over here. And similar way there are some solution commands as well available. So simply need to type of pack solution and then help and you simply need to go and this many of commands are available, right? So this is something that I wanted to show you some new capability that you can leverage with your project. And here I am about to end my session because I covered all the basic information about how you can leverage this Visual Studio Code extension for your Power Apps development process. So uh, people who are from development background, it is very useful for them. And let's say as an admin user, if they wanted to manage their Power Apps, it is very useful. So PowerShell is also another option and this code extension is also one of the good option that I can see here. And as a citizen developer, we can of course make the changes directly to our Power Apps itself and do with the process. And this is something which is in preview at this moment, so it's not recommended to to use into your production projects at this moment, because I have seen some challenges here at this moment. Like, let's say if multiple developers are working at the same time, what happen here is, if one developer makes some changes, let's say this is my button control, I put my button ID as button 1_3 here, but in another screen if developer put the same button, it will throw us an error that this references do not match. So these are the different things that we need to consider when we are using this kind of functionality for our development process, and definitely this is going to be improved much and much more into future, so we can leverage more thing in the future, and let's wait for the general availability for this particular feature. So meantime, you can test it out and check out the different things over there. And that's all I wanted to have here. And one last thing I wanted to show, for my YouTube channel, you can simply type my name on your YouTube search box and you will find my channel. Here I uploaded so many content related Power Apps, Power BI, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents, as well as some step-by-step series are also available into playlist section. So you can do everything related AI, mixed reality, and virtual agents related thing. You can learn everything from scratch by scratch, so you will never miss any updates from my channel. And even if you wanted to learn about different short tips and tricks related Power Platform, here is the Instagram account link, so you can find my Instagram account as well. And over here you will find my different posts, reels, different IGTV, some behind the scene processes and everything. So I think I covered almost everything. If anyone has any question, feel free to ask your question. I will happy to answer your question.
Hi, Drewin. Before we end this session, we have one question on our Q&A panel, or Q&A portion on our team's live event. So coming from Raymond. So thanks again, Raymond, for this question. So what's the purpose of terminal?
Okay, what's the purpose? Very good question. That is asked. What is the purpose of terminal? So basically, sometimes what happen here is, let's say if you are admin of your Power Apps, and let's say for an example, you are having this many of apps in your environment available at this moment, and you just wanted to check something, like you want to perform some task, like from this many of apps, how many apps are using premium connector, how many apps are let's say this is the app, this app is shared with how many users, you wanted to provide some permission. Then will you check this thing one by one from your user interface? This will very time consuming thing. At that time, this concept of Visual Studio Code extension terminal, or let's say Power Apps PowerShell concept, will help you a lot. Even this is the terminal which has a lesser command than PowerShell, but if you use this kind of functionality, what happens is it saves our lots of time. I can just run a very single command and it will give you the list of all the Power Apps which is available on my environment. Let's say if you're in your environment, you have multiple environments like production, development, and you just wanted to check that how many apps are in which environment, which app is shared with whom. This task is become so easy, even if we go with the manual process over here. So for that purpose it is very useful. Second thing, if you are working with solutions and if you wanted to deploy your solution, so even if you go with the user interface, that is really good, because it's not something that everyone should use PowerShell or this CLI. So at that time also this will help a lot, because if we just run some command and it will deploy our solution, download our solution, everything. So that is how specifically if you are admin and if you are having some coding background, at that time this command line interface or PowerShell will help you a lot. Hope I answer your question.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Drewin, for answering that question. It was a detailed answer. And thank you so much, Raymond. And there's also one here. Hold on, Drewin, let me just read so I won't miss anything. Hold on. Just sweet. Okay, so there's one from Mark. I am a fan here in the Philippines. Hello, Drewin. So
thank you
Mark
so
is just saying hello, and then is shouting out loud that he's your fan. Maybe just say hi to him.
Hi, thank you so much.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much, Juvin, for that amazing presentation. Well, for the presentation of Druvin, it's more on the development side. So this summit is like a complete package. So if you're just a startup or a newbie, so we have like the L100 up to the development part. So we got it covered. Okay, so that was Juven's discussion more on it's pro developer, right, Juven? So our platform is not just no code, low code. We also have pro code. Okay, so it's
Exactly.
complete. Okay,
Exactly.
all right. Well, I just need to have like a rundown of the next sessions, so the attendees will know what will be the next. Okay, so here, let me just share my screen. Just give me a moment. All right. So next would be we'll have our last featured session, and then we'll have the Ask the Expert, and lastly will be our raffle and awarding. So here I received some queries for the survey for the certificate. So for you to get your certificate of attendance here and by attending the summit, you just need to complete this session because we are going to download the attendance report from this live event. And then number two is if you've completed the survey, please make sure to put your complete name because that will be the name that we will add on the certificate and your email address because we will send it to your email address. Also, for the raffle, I believe it's the most awaited time of the year or of the summit is the raffle. So we only have 23 attendees now, so more chances of winning. So it's our surprise to you. You are our priority. So please go ahead and type your name on the Q&A portion. Don't worry, we will not publish it. We just want to know right now who are the attendees because we can generate the attendance report after this live event. So you cannot see the live raffle. So I want that you're going to have the live raffle within the summit. Okay, so please go ahead and type your name on the Q&A and our moderators will not publish it. And then one entry per name, and let's just find out later on our actual raffle and awarding. Okay, and thank you so much for our attendees for the engagement, the questions, any messages. Keep them coming because it's a summit. It's our communication connection with our community. Okay, so let's continue our learning through another featured session. This is our last featured session. Save the best for last because he will discuss about the best practices for implementing Dynamics 365. Here is also another Microsoft most valuable professional for business applications, founder of Hacktive Collab. Let us all welcome Paul Soliman.
All right. Good morning, Drizel. Wait, just need to change my background. So, sorry. Well, it wasn't applied.
It's okay, Paul. It's all right. So let me
Anyway,
add
there
you
you
on
go.
the sum.
All right. So good morning. Of course, Philippines. So thank you for attending Microsoft Business Application Summit here in the Philippines. I supposed to give a welcome remarks, but it's okay. Great speakers. I mean, we saw from from the Microsoft or HQs in a way keynote and did some great points for what's next for Dynamics 365. We had also Drizel who discussed something. We had also the Softline team who discuss about Power Automate. We have Druvin with it and Anj discuss some sort of like or did a demo. So it's really a full pack session, and I was really happy enjoying the presentations a while ago. Yeah, but for me, I'm gonna share now my screen. So this is gonna be a quick one, and it's more gonna be tackling on a broader perspective of Dynamics 365 best practices. So a while ago, when if you were here already when we played the keynote from the MBAS, or yeah, the real MBAS in a way, they mentioned about or something about success by design. So technically, this is one of the good, in a way, updates that we can get from that MBAS, and we want to echo that here in the Philippines. So I believe there are like partners and customers that are watching. So if you're really into implementing Dynamics 365, not only the 365 but also Power Platform, I'm gonna give an example, especially for Business Central, on how to in a way to infuse that in your current implementation procedure. But yeah, I'm gonna be discussing more of the fundamentals of success by design. Okay, let's start. So why solutioning is very important. This is the in a way the gist of the presentation or the discussion, since the success by design is anchored in a in on a perspective that you will have your solutions architect in place, and also in an implementation. um the the in a way, the lifeline of the implementation is really the solutioning. Solutioning will not only become activated when we do that on the implementation proper itself, but also from the very start of the project. Before we start even the project, if you're a partner here, you can relate that if we're selling something like, for example, Dynamics 365 sales, when we go to a client, we scope, then after that we present the solution. I hope you're doing that, right? And that solutioning should have the persona, should have, the inherent value of why they're or why they need to get Dynamics 365 sales versus other competitors, or if they don't have a system, why do they need to go to the CRM? So technically, this solutioning is very important, and we will answer why it is very important in terms of success by design and other methodology that I'm going to be discussing. So success by design is in a way, a program, or some case we can call it methodology, that was announced last MBAS. And what we want to highlight here is what's the difference between success by design and also the project methodology itself. So there are in a way, we don't want to confuse ourselves, because success by design is not a project management methodology. It's really like a best practice guidelines for us to be able to, of course, to implement Dynamics 365 carefully, and of course, not failing our customers. I'm always saying this, that the reason why it's success by design is because every implementation should be successful. We will, as Jason mentioned, there are hardship, but in an implementation, you don't fail. In a way, there's no room for failure, because our clients are paying us, and some of the clients, especially on the SMB or on the SMEs space, earn that money because in a way, they're earning that money in a super, they need to be hardworking to earn that specific money. So in a way, we don't want to, of course, break their dreams or something like that, since it's very important for us to always think of success in our implementation. Yes, there will be hardship, but I urge you guys, these businesses that client nyo na, or I'm gonna speak in Tagalog, yung mga negosyo na kliyente nyo na, Alright? So, inipon nila yung pera na yan, and as an entrepreneur, I'm always, I realize that cash is very important. Now, they're trusting us as partners, as consultants to implement it successfully, but at the end of the day, there are still some partners that doesn't adhere to the best practice, and we're failing big time, right? So technically, why success by design, right? So as I mentioned, best practice and knowledge sharing is very important in our project. It's really like the foundation of Dynamics 365, for example, since if you're into like on a pre-sale stage in your project, if you don't know, or if you're not knowledgeable in terms of the licensing, the on how to do this, on how to do that, then I'm urging you not to implement, guys. I'm not discouraging you, but you need to understand that when we face our clients, it's really we should be knowledgeable on whatever we're doing, since technically the product itself it has a lot of potential and has a lot of in a way feature, like what Ange was showing about the AR, right? Like what our first speaker, I think, Mark, showing a Power Automate. When you go to a client and there are some issues or pain points that will be resolved by those particular feature, and we're not knowledgeable, and we're gonna say that, yeah, we will customize this. No, it's not, it's not good. That's why sometimes if you go to the market, I've been in the market for the industry for the last 12 years, I'm hearing Dynamics 365 is not good because it's complicated or what. No, it's not, because sometimes you don't know how to implement it, and we don't really see the best practice. That's why I'm very thankful with Microsoft on getting this success by design in place. And in fact, these are not in a way technological guidance. It's more of a proper procedure on how to do things, or the workshops. Innovation evangelism. Some partners, or even me, sometimes I was guilty on that. Like, I'm not upgrading in a way, but um, sometimes there are features already that solves a particular problem, but we don't know that. And technically, some of the like great features like AI Insight, are we implementing that already? I think we're lacking of push for those particular in a way innovation that us did in the community, and also with Microsoft, because community helps Microsoft also to improve the features of Dynamics 365. And as MVPs as well, our duty is also, if we found something that is not good, we do help Microsoft product group as well. So we're helping each other. The community and Microsoft are helping each other to have this specific innovation, and sometimes we don't use, all right, that specific innovation, like what Druvin presented about this Power Apps or Power Platform extension in Visual Studio. That's very helpful. In fact, I was telling my team to use that already, since it was launched. So success by design is anchored on innovation evangelism. When you go to customer, you always pitch for the new one. Maybe they don't need it now, but tomorrow they will need it, like AI Insight, etc. This is very important as well. Product direction, strategic alignment. Guys, a lot of partners, a lot of consultants are failing on this. They don't know what is the direction of Microsoft. Of course, we deal with Microsoft, so be it, right? I mean, we cannot stop Microsoft on in a way avoiding to update, because we're on SaaS, software as a service. Whatever Microsoft is doing there, of course, it is for good. But sometimes there are bugs. But that's normal in the industry, right? But what I'm saying is, we always go to the wave updates, like what fields are going to be deprecated, what process are not be included anymore. Please always take note of that. And also when building your solution, as I mentioned, why solutioning is very important, because when you do your solutioning, you should be aligning to the Power Platform or Dynamics 365 roadmap will be. So sometimes, well, I'm getting a lot of complaint from customers that as partners we did not say that there is like a big update last December 2020 of deprecating this classic web UI or web interface of Dynamics 365. So from the very start, if we know already, if we're updated, we can advise our clients that we need to be ready on those particular updates. And this is like the strategic alignment that we need to always review, right? If we're dealing with, of course, Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. Execution excellence is also there, the best practices, the workshops, etc. I'm going to be discussing that later. And of course, escalating issues or whichever needs to be focused on when an implementation is having an issue or a critical decision that you made that you need to make. So technically, these are some of the pillars or why success by design is very important to infuse with your current project management methodology. All right, so these are the success by design phases. So we have here the initiate. Of course, we will do the partner kickoff or the customer kickoff. We can see as well that you see here the community is very involved, supposed to be. If you need someone from the community and collaborate with your specific customer, all right, you can do that. Design, build, and again, this is not a project management methodology, guys. It's so different from your own project methodology, like the short step analysis, deployment, or analysis, development, deployment, and go live or operation. This is very, very different from that. It's more of like an engineer, solutions architect, or even Microsoft, the fast track team is assisting a particular implementation for us to be able to get success or the best practices. You can see here the solution blueprint is very important. Implementation and monitoring is also very important. This is the in a way the life of the project. So that's why sometimes if we're doing agile, it's fine, but we have the user story, etc. But we still submit solution blueprint review, and sometimes we don't mix that, meaning we should be infusing that, not mixing that. All right. Projects are failing because sometimes developers are are being hired, all right, newly to the project, and there's no blueprint design or solution blueprint. So this is something that we need to really check or really put premium on it, on checking this. So you can see also the cut over touch point. Guys, it's very important to have cut over. I mean, projects are sometimes being extended because we don't know how to do cut over, meaning the data that was uploaded, that was migrated, is not transition, meaning it's not transformed, or technically we did not have a workshop, or sorry, a cut over. What happened there is, of course, when the users start using the system already that you deploy, whether it's an ERP or CRM, D365 sales, or finance or business central, what will happen there is they're getting the old data. So you need to discuss really the cut over. You need to plan that. That's why there is a pre-go live assessment, pre-go live workshop that you need to consider. It's not always going live if you're not ready. When you see the pre-go live assessment and the pre-go live workshop, we will see there that the readiness of your go live. If you're not ready, then don't go live. Of course, we will not in a way, we will not fully diminish the fact that there are some bugs that will go, or that will really be found on the go live. But at the end of the day, we want to really ensure that those bugs are gonna be minimal. We don't want to have users that doesn't have an access, right? So those kind of small things can be checked by doing the pre-go live assessment. All right. So this is like implementing success by design. Align expectation. You need to align expectation with all of the stakeholders, not only with the customers. You need to prepare properly, documentation, etc. There is a delivery management. I'm gonna give you the link for the full because for the sake of time, but I'm going to give you like a documentation in Microsoft Learn on how to access Success by Design and even its template. And of course, following up. Following up is very important since some of the implementations are heavy that you need to, that the customer needs to have, an activity that they will curate their master data or they will scrub it. So technically, follow-up is very important if they are still on track or they have questions, etc. And of course, the workshop, whatever we discuss in the workshop needs to be followed up consistently. So general guidance for a successful workshop. Remember that each meeting may include people who are not in previous sessions. So always start with a workshop session by introducing yourself and background, all right, and experience with Dynamics 365. This is what I'm saying. You need to, really be knowledgeable and prove that you're really experienced in Dynamics 365 and Power Platform. Make sure notes is being taken during every session because, sometimes it's really best practice, guys, that you always have, sending MOM, even the small meetings or short meetings that you're gonna be having, because you don't want to always be, someone from the customer asking what happened, right? So you need to have MOM so they can just forward it to the absent or that to a person that was absent when we're doing the session, etc. All right. So again, be confident in your experience. This is not, guys, on my own word. This is posted on Microsoft Learn. You can read everything here, and yeah, I think you will learn a lot on that Microsoft Learn course, right? So I'm gonna give the link later. So read the audience to help understand their technical level. Keep to the agreed technical level for the workshop, because sometimes there are people there that are not really technical, so you need to to have this level of or technically assessing if if that group, all right, whatever you're presenting is really technical or not, because you should stop if it's going too deep into the details, of course, right? Since technically not all workshop are really for that. So meaning you need an empathic listening for you to be able to discern who are your audience on that time. In business session, do not worry about the how and understand the why. That's very basic. I mean, that's very correct, because at the end of the day, the why is really the emotion or what they feel. So meaning if you're meeting with your customer or the owner of the business, you need to understand why they need the system, right? It's not how to use this, no, or how to do your process. No, we can do that later. It's really important knowing the why. What are the non-negotiable, right? It's gonna be, if you ask the right question or the why, the non-negotiable will really, get into us, or they will tell that to us. All right. In technical session, don't forget the why, even if the focus is the how. Again, going back to the why, it's always the why, since at the end of the day, that's your guiding principle in terms of really pleasing your customer, right? Or not really pleasing, but again, in a way, the requirements that they want, right? Later, I'll share some best practice about expectation versus reality. All right. Capture all action and open topics as you go through the session, but ensure you have 5 to 10 minutes end of the workshop to recap the session. So this is like reiterating what needs to be what was discussed, what not, and also what is the next, or what are the next action steps. All right. So please ensure that if you end the meeting, you have action steps. All right. So the workshop involved three key steps: information capture, running the workshop, and create recommendation and finding. So there is like a template for this one that I'm gonna be, I'm gonna ask the team to like copy paste that on the announcement, so you can see that particular Microsoft Learn. All right. So make sure, all right, just to highlight this, risks require follow-up action. For example, not planning for adequate failure testing of key integration. Often risks will also be discovered as the review and discussion happen during the workshop. Guys, please take risk assessment. Don't take for granted if you can't do this or you can't do that. Always put that on the risk. You will save, in a way, the project if you have risk assessment, because customers will understand that there is a risk. Let's say, for example, they don't have project manager. You need to put that on the risk assessment, so they would, and follow up on that, so they would be able to know that if the project somehow crippled or failing already, you told them that there's no project manager. That's why it's happening, right? Recommendation also is very important. Since you have the risk, etc., scope it. Please recommend. Be a advisor, not only a vendor. All right, be an advisor to them. Okay, so now I'm going to my best practice that I've created for Business Central, like infuse of, you know, documentation and some sort of like knowledge that I gather since I started my career in business apps. So technically, I'm calling it the Flash methodology. So so the documentation I have that I've created, that I can I promised the community that I will share it last year, but of course I was, you know, so busy because of this pandemic. So I'm still curating the blueprint for this one, for my Flash methodology, and I want to share this how I share this session from my D365 Saturday session in business for Business Central, I think last year. So technically, when you see PH market, it's really, I'm gonna start with why. All right, so this is how I do it. I'm gonna start with why. PH is the BC market. Why? Because, you know, the large companies is just like 0.48, meaning these are, you know, big companies like maybe Unilab or PNG, etc. But 99.52% of businesses are all SMEs, and of course, those are, you know, the target market if you're trying to sell or implement Business Central in the Philippines. So I blog on my LinkedIn about how to help SMB grow using Office 365 and Business Central, right? So the problem here, as you can see, is always the money, right? All right, it's always as this. I mean, when you implement something, it's always like the money, because if, of course, you're proposing for this particular Mondays or man hours, as we know it in the consulting world, your customer will always, you know, challenge the proposal that you're giving. And of course, trust as well, since at the end of the day, the problem with that is there's a lot of horror story, all right, even with, you know, Microsoft implementation that is embedded already to the minds of our clients, and that's why sometimes they're go to, or they're opt to, you know, use other application like SAP Business One or NetSuite, because there is a partner that wasn't able to implement Business Central or Navision or NAV properly, all right, and even D365. So to resolve the issues, we need cost effectiveness and fast but sure, meaning at the end of the day, you can gain trust and you can be cost effective if you're using the right methodology and if you're faster. All right, so why use Flash method? Quick to respond to client demand, meaning there's no marketing. All right, less marketing, less talk. All right, and more delivery in implementation and service. All right, less sales talk, more of service, guys. So you can use this to of course respond to client demand. Easy to understand approach. You don't need to be, you know, in a way, a certified Scrum Master or a certified PMP to use this, because of course our SMB client needs to understand that this particular approach is so easy, right? And utilizes online meeting. When we were crafting this, it's pre-pandemic, so we want to utilize online meeting already since 2017 or 2016, right? But technically, Flash method will be always or adhering to, you know, what we call the digital transformation in terms of meeting, right? So disclaimer, no, not one size fits all. All right, so technically when we say not one size fits all, it depends for with your client if they want to use Flash, or if that's really in a way fitted, no, to this particular client, right? For clients who will go with the pure standard BC, this is very important, meaning Flash methodology will only work on the standard business central implementation. Sorry, I'm just doing a business central focus, but it's also applicable to, you know, CRM as well. Not applicable for all industry and for all premium feature. So still we need to discern. Again, the solutioning part is very important. The pre-sales part is very important. So scoping question, three ultimate question that we always ask. What is your industry? What modules are you okay to implement the standard module? And do you have 3 people minimum? Sometimes because we want to sell, we don't consider even if our customers, have someone to really implement the project internally, or their project manager, their key users. Even if the customer has money, but if they don't people to implement it with us, I'm restraining it and I'm canceling that particular deal. Believe me, since the problem is it will always boils down to the partner who's implementing it, not with your customer. So if they don't have people, then don't continue it, right? Please, guys, because no one will use it. The owner will not. Of course, some owners will. I know one person who really goes with us, right? He is very, like, really, in a way, super hands-on. But if your customer doesn't have people and they don't want to take full accountability with that, then don't continue the project. It will fail big time. So how? So technically, if the questions are passed already, meaning they pass this, they know their industry, it's okay to implement the standard module only, and they have 3 minimum people, project manager, product champions, then you can go already, then start it. So how to do it? So technically, you need to understand that the master data is very important, it's crucial. When I was, when I had, when I organized with Rush, with the 365 Saturday, the biggest Business Central boot camp this year, I think it was on May. We highlighted the importance of master data because this is the foundation of your implementation, even with CRM. And you need to really understand that master data is very important. And if your customer and you doesn't understand master data, then don't implement anymore. Since technically all of the problems concerning to implementation or even the usability of the system, the transactional later on, lies with the master data, because you need to understand whatever you put in your master data, that's it, right? Meaning it will be the configuration of the system. So if your vendor ledger, let's say for example, or if your customer or account is, not really organized or not really scrub well, then please, guys, put emphasis on that, because your project will fail if your master data is not that really, clean. Okay, configuration and workshop is also very important, since we need to understand, even in the ERP, again, the industry and the particular process, all right, people, process, technology. So it's very important to understand the process, all right? Please understand that, and the user story as well, to do the configuration. And after configuring, guys, go to the workshop. As the Success by Design mentioned, right, we need to have more workshops, all right, more meetings and more workshops for us to thresh out what they really need, all right. Plus, opening balances is very important on the ERP. This is the cutover, meaning these are my opening balances. Please upload 2020 opening balances. I will start 2021 fresh, something like that. So this is very important for us to understand, or for us to go live. And this can be done in 15 days. All right. Our fastest Business Central implementation is around 5 days to 10 days. And I thought of like a more complex in terms of trade can be done 15 days. So that's how you implement Business Central. If you know master data, if you can configure it properly, and you go with workshop with them. This is like, guys, the effort, right? The effort of the consultant, right? It can be 20 or 30, depends if your client is responding to the need, right? But for us consultant, fastest is 15 days. We deployed it already. Okay, this is like a sample. So you still have this one, a pattern to waterfall, but we have agile version of this one already. Project planning, right? Conducting solutions overview. You see that I skipped the QA testing because I need the data migration or the master data. Then I'll go back, all right, to my solutions workshop I discussed, because you need first to upload their master data. All right, so when you do, this is not yet the training, so when you do the solutions workshop, they understand already whatever you are doing in the system because that's their data already. Then you go to the training and you go to the UAT, user acceptance testing, and technically you go to going live and closure. So this is very basic that I don't need to document everything in a super, you know, enterprise manner. If you do this to your client, this is very to understand. They can recognize ROI already, and I think they will be happy because you finish the implementation faster. Of course, you need to manage the client. This is not perfect work. All right. So key takeaway from this session, use success by design to make sure that there's no expectation reality, guys. Please, sometimes you need to be very focused on your scoping and, you know, solutioning, right? To avoid expectation versus reality. Workshops are very important, okay? Please do it, all right? Don't just show after, you know, after 15 days of development, then you're just, you know, use sprints. Or okay, if you're into Scrum and Agile, use sprint. So and do that as a workshop as well, because sometimes we develop for 15 days, then we don't get pala the full requirements. Go back to the client, 15 days was wasted because we did not get the full requirements. Whatever we created is not acceptable to them because you did not initiate workshops to confirm, to reiterate, and you review the risk. And of course, consider always using best practice by joining like this, for example, this community. Our, you know, our sessions for today are very effective for us to be able to see best practices, right? So there's a lot of that. Read blogs, go to YouTube, you know, check this, how they do these things, listen to these people who had the same experience as your implementation. And in fact, we're gonna launch CRM migration, best migration practices. It's a community, okay? It's a Microsoft community, not you know, public. So if you go to the tech community of Microsoft, I think there's a focus group there that discusses CRM migration, FNO, finance and operation, and business central as well. So we're going to launch that in the Philippines since there are a lot of implementation in terms of migration are failing. So we're going to help partners as well to do that. I myself had an experience of failing in the migration. That's why I needed to go there and review whatever the best practices that, you know, this other partners or other contributors, MVPs and customers have. So when we curate that, we can build a, in a way, a semi-accurate or perfect step-by-step guide on how to migrate something. All right. So that's it for me. So Drisel, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Paul, for sharing all those points. It's very important. And of course, we would definitely use them as a guide as we implement Dynamics 365 in our business and organization. And yes, it's true that we've experienced some, or we've heard about failed deployments. And that's why Microsoft has this success by design also. Thank you for that, Paul. And for our next session, okay, so we'll be more on, just stay for now, Paul, and then the other speakers, because we're going to have our Ask the Expert session. Okay, so same with our actual MBAS, they have Ask the Expert session, and we are going to discuss more about Microsoft Business Application Certification. So if you have any question, if you want to get a Microsoft certification, now is the time to raise the questions you have in your mind about having a Microsoft certification. And our experts, Paul, John, Dhruvan, and myself, will be here to assist you with the questions. Okay, so just utilize the Q&A portion of our Teams Live event, and we are going to answer those questions. So while waiting for your questions, we have some questions received already. So anyone, so Paul, John, Dhruvan, feel free to just unmute your microphone and answer some of these questions, okay? All right. So first question, what's your most favorite certification exam and why?
Hello.
Hello.
John here again.
Okay. Hi,
For me,
John.
my favorite certification is Microsoft 365 Fundamental, since I'm responsible for modern workplace and also digital transformation at Southline.
All right. Okay. Okay. That's great. So thank you. So Dynamics 365 fundamentals. All right. So how about Druven?
So for me, Dohar, one of the favorite certification is specifically one for Power BI and one for Power Platform, specifically like PL100 and DA100. Actually, I just cleared DA100, and from Microsoft Learning Source, you can learn lots of new thing in order to go with that certification. And PL100 is also something which is also clear lots of your concepts. So these are two of my favorite certification.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Juvin and John, for sharing your favorite certification exam. Next question that I have is, hold on, let me check. What's the advantage of getting these Microsoft certifications?
Okay. So Dohar, can I go with the answer?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so basically the advantage of Microsoft certification is that, like, let's say for an example, most of the time what happen is if you are working on service-based companies, at the time for specific projects, they are asking for certification. That is one thing. Second thing is that it will enhance your career, means it boost your career a little bit, because certification will, comes you in front of other people. Like if someone do not have certification and if you have some certification, so definitely it will have some impact for your career perspective as well. So these are some advantages I can see for the Microsoft certification.
All right, thank you. And then for me, the advantage is, of course, you learn the Microsoft way. Like you start from the basic up until if you want to extend or expand your knowledge to a specific role or to a specific technology, then you just need to complete that learning path and then take the certification for you to have a better project experience, implementation. So like what Paul said, we just need to follow these documentation, be updated, because again, Dynamics 365 is dynamics. We need to stay in the know. Okay. All right. And then I guess we'll have our last question. Any tips on how to ace the exam?
Yeah, I think I can answer that. So, well, Microsoft Learn has a lot to offer nowadays, right? So if you really want to have a focus, in a way, or a review, so for that certification exam, then you can go to Microsoft Learn and really study about that, and also ask. All right, best practice is always ask the one who passed it already. So we're not cheating, like questions are random. It's not really like if we do our exam yesterday, so tomorrow it's gonna be different. So Microsoft is good on doing that. So you need to also ask best practices, of course, not the cheat, not the answer, from your colleague that passed the exam already.
Thank you, Paul. Yes, that's true. Okay. How about Druvin or John? Any tips?
Yep. Aside aside from learning for free in Microsoft Learning website, or learning from docs.microsoft.com, it would also best to ace the exam if you have hands-on experience, or in order for you to get familiarized how the product really works. In that way, you could really easily gauge and answer questions during your certificate examination.
All right. Thank you, John. Yes. Learning and hands-on experience. Yep. So, Juven, do you want to answer or you're all good?
Yes, I agreed with Paul and John. Microsoft Learn is a best resource for learning purpose, as well as Microsoft will provide instructor-based LED training as well for some of the certifications, so people can go with that thing as well. And it is required, to have enough hands-on, as John said, like if you have worked on specific project on some Power Platform and other components, then it's something which is very helpful to you as well for covering some real life scenarios that are being asked in the examination.
Okay, all right, perfect. Thank you so much, Juvin, John, and Paul. And that's the end of our Ask the Expert session. And thank you everyone for the questions and participation. So now I'll transition to our raffle. So for the raffle, just to recap, I only have, let me just check. I only have 13 names here. So you still have time, or are we good? Can we proceed with the raffle? 13 names, are we good to go? Yes, everyone? Okay, so let me start the raffle. Hold on. So here, this is the hat. So who will be our first winner? Let's draw it. Draw the name. Virgie Aleta. Let's have another one. So the first prize, Virgie Aleta, it's Microsoft Leather Backpack. Second prize is Microsoft Jacket for Tristan J. Cuevas. And third prize goes to Diane Mora. So congratulations to these 3 attendees. Again, first prize, Microsoft Leather Backpack, Virgie Aleta. Second prize, Microsoft Jacket, Tristan J. Cuevas. And third prize, Microsoft Vacuum Bottle, Diane Mora. Okay, we will send a message to you, Virgie, Tristan, and Diane. Or you can just send us a message. You can send a message to DMD Ship Mode and then we'll send the details to you. Okay? Alright, so that's it for the raffle. And then for the others, on our game hall, on our event portal, I extended it. So you can also inform the other pre-registered attendees to visit our game hall for the scavenger hunt, the share and win. I will also upload the recording on YouTube and Facebook, so at least you can watch the summit and still continue to connect and engage with us. All right. Okay, so now I'll go to our awarding. Okay, so here it is now time to express our gratitude to our speakers by awarding the certificates of appreciation. So let me read the citation. So Certificate of Appreciation. This is presented to Paul Suleiman, Juvin Shah, Mary Angela Serboles, and then John Christopher Ortiz. We're going to send this certificate on your email, okay? And of course, we would like to thank our official partners in cooperation with Microsoft, DMD Ship Mode, also brought to you by Softline Philippines and Softline International, Hacktive Collab, And special thanks to iTrain Asia for making this summit possible. Also, thank you to all the participants or attendees for joining this online summit. Your certificates will be sent once you have accomplished the evaluation or our feedback form. So again, this has been your host, Doher Drizzle Pablo, and see you on our next event. So I'll be playing a special video for everyone. Our next event, and our thank you message to our participants and to everyone. So just give me a moment. Don't leave yet. I'll just play this first. There's also an upcoming event after this, 12:30, all about our BI and IC question on our Q&As. It's all about our BI. And Kevin is also one of the organizers for this event. And also, Softline Philippines will be having their event this July. So please go ahead and register. It's all about